December 14th, 2022, Al Bayt Stadium, Qatar, Morocco, the Atlas Lions, 90 minutes from a World Cup final. The first African team in history to get this far. An entire continent screaming at a television screen. They lose 2-0 to France. And here's the detail that should make your head spin. The team that ended Morocco's miracle run was, in part, built from players who could have been Morocco. France's golden generation has always carried North African blood in its spine. Sons and grandsons of Algerian, Senegalese, and Moroccan immigrants raised in the same suburbs that produced dual national footballers by the dozen. The semi-final that broke Morocco's heart was, in a strange way, an argument France had already won decades earlier. 4 years later, Morocco decided to stop losing that argument. They didn't go build a better academy. They didn't outspend anyone. They did something colder, smarter, and far more devastating. They started taking the players France's own academies had already built, one phone call at a time. This is the story of the most quietly ruthless recruitment operation in modern football. Forget tactics, forget formations. This is about something federations spent decades ignoring, and Morocco weaponized it. So why did Morocco change? Why didn't they just keep doing what every federation does? Wait, hope, and pray the kid with the right grandparents picks you. Because they tried that, and it blew up in their face, in public, in 2005. A teenage Marwan Fellaini played a friendly for Morocco's U20 side. The federation barely used him, 20 minutes off the bench while the Dutch ran up the score. He took it personally. He picked Belgium. Morocco's federation took it personally too, and instead of shrugging it off as one lost player, they rebuilt their entire recruitment philosophy from the ground up so it would never, ever happen again. That single humiliation is the seed of everything we're about to talk about. Not a boardroom strategy memo, not a consultant slide deck. One kid, one bad night, one federation that decided never again. Look at what 20 years of never again actually produced. At the 2018 World Cup, 17 of Morocco's 23 players were born outside the country. By 2022, still 14 of 26. For 2026, it's 20 of 26. Roughly 3 out of every 4 players wearing the Atlas Lion crest wasn't born in Morocco at all. Spain and France each supplied 6. The Netherlands and Belgium contributed 3 apiece. 1 player came from Canada. That's not luck. That's not geography. That's infrastructure. The Moroccan Federation runs scouts across Europe, France, Belgium, the Netherlands, Spain, Germany, and their entire job is finding kids with Moroccan blood before their country of birth locks them in for good. Morocco's own technical director has been straightforward about this. It's a hybrid model. Some players rise through Moroccan academies on home soil. The rest are spotted in Europe by a dedicated scouting unit built for exactly one purpose: getting to dual nationals before anyone else does. And here's the detail that actually demolishes the lazy version of this story. The Morocco outbuilt Clairefontaine myth. A meaningful chunk of these players were born in France, raised in France, developed inside France's own club academy system. Issa Diop, Ayoub Bouadi, an 18-year-old straight out of Lille's academy and one of the most coveted teenage midfielders in Ligue 1. Neil El-Anawi, Samir El-Morabet, Gassim Yassine. These aren't fringe names padding a bench. Morocco walked into France's own backyard, found the players France's own ecosystem had already shaped, and asked a question the FFF never thought it needed to ask. Do you actually feel wanted here? That's not a development story. That's a heist, and it's been running in plain sight for 2 decades. Here's the part that should actually worry the FFF. It's not money. Morocco isn't outbidding anyone. There's no signing bonus for choosing a national team, and even if there were, Paris Saint-Germain's academy budget alone dwarfs anything the Moroccan Federation could offer. So if it's not cash, what's Morocco actually selling? Identity. Something every federation in Europe has spent decades treating as a footnote instead of the actual product. Picture the position these kids are in. A French-born Moroccan teenager grows up inside two completely different conversations. France tells him you're eligible, you're talented, you're one name on a depth chart that already includes players from Clairefontaine, Lyon, Rennes, and every other pipeline in the country. Morocco tells him something else entirely. You're not an option, you're wanted, specifically, by name, years before you're famous enough for anyone else to bother. That's not a recruiting pitch, that's an emotional offer France's bureaucracy is structurally incapable of matching. Because France has the luxury of depth, and depth makes everyone replaceable. Walid Regragui understood this from the inside because he lived it. Born and raised in France to Moroccan parents, he wasn't an outside hire parachuted in to manage a talent pool. He was the talent pool, a generation earlier. He knew exactly what these kids were hearing from French federations, and exactly what they weren't hearing. So when he recruited, he wasn't selling a tactical system. He was selling belonging, and selling it years before any rival federation thought the kid was worth the phone call. And once one major name says yes publicly, it changes the calculation for the next 10 kids weighing the same decision. Success becomes its own recruiting tool. Morocco's 2022 run didn't just win matches. It became proof of concept for every dual national teenager watching from a French suburb, wondering which jersey actually wants him back. That's the mechanism, not facilities, not money. A federation that figured out loyalty isn't inherited at birth. It's earned by whoever asks first and means it. Now, there's a story going around right now, and it's a good one. Morocco built a better academy than Clairefontaine. The M6 Academy is the new La Masia. France's golden generation factory finally cracked. It's a great story. It's also not really what's happening. And if you build your understanding of this on that story, you'll miss what's actually going on. Clairefontaine isn't in decline. It's still doing exactly what it's done since 1988, pulling the best 13 to 15-year-olds out of the Île-de-France region and turning them into technically elite players using the same individual mastery philosophy that built Henry, Anelka, and Mbappé. Nobody inside the FFF is panicking about a broken pipeline. If anything, the opposite. New hybrid pitches went in over the last 2 years, and Clairefontaine's alumni were still the backbone of France's run to the 2022 final and the Euro 2024 semis. So if Clairefontaine isn't broken, why does it feel like France is losing? Because the fight everyone's narrating was never the fight that's actually happening. It was never who builds the better player, it's who gets to keep him once he's built. And that's a completely different competition. One that has nothing to do with pitches, coaching philosophy, or technical curriculum, and everything to do with who shows up first with the more convincing answer to a 15-year-old standing between two flags. So here's where this stops being a Morocco story. Because the real headline isn't Morocco beat France. The real headline is a country with a fraction of the FFF's budget figured out how to out-recruit one of the wealthiest football federations on the planet for players that federation already paid to develop. No transfer fee, no buyout clause, just a scout with a phone number and a federation willing to make the call early. That should terrify every football power in Europe, not just France. Think about who else is sitting on the exact same exposure. Algeria has the same diaspora pipeline running through Marseille, Lyon, and the Paris suburbs. Tunisia has it through France and Italy. Senegal and Nigeria have it through France, Belgium, and increasingly the English academy system. None of them currently run a scouting operation as sharp as Morocco's, but scouting infrastructure isn't a secret formula. It's a process, it's copyable. And federations watching Morocco's 2022 semifinal and 2026 squad sheet are taking notes right now. And here's the part that should worry the FFF specifically. This isn't a one-generation blip, it's structural. As long as France keeps producing more elite talent than it can field, and as long as a meaningful share of that talent carries dual heritage, there will always be a surplus sitting there for someone else to claim. Clairefontaine and the club academies are, unintentionally, running a talent factory with no exclusivity contract. France builds the player. Whoever asks first with the most sincerity gets to keep him. The federations still operating like 2010, still assuming birthplace plus passport equals permanent loyalty, are going to keep losing players they didn't even realize were in play. Not to bigger checkbooks, to better timing and a more convincing answer to one simple question: who actually wants you? Morocco didn't break French football. Clairefontaine still works exactly as designed. What Morocco proved is something scarier for everyone else in this sport. The system everyone assumed was unbeatable was never actually guarded. It was just unclaimed.